Meet Anna Nix. She's playing the cello. A few moments later, her stepfather, beer bottle in hand, walks in and starts assaulting her. She kicks him in self-defense and sends Mans flying. He lands on a table and suffers a fatal wound. Unlucky. Anna gets sentenced to 4 to 9 years in a correctional facility, although she was just defending herself, which is pretty realistic considering America's justice system. She gets lined up, checked for any contraband, and is given a prison uniform. The new inmates then meet Frank. He's the prison warden. He says, hey, listen to all my orders and the staff's orders and we'll be good. Cool. They all get sent to their cell rooms. Anna meets her cellmate, Genie, and Genie doesn't seem very welcoming. Anna asks how long she's been here. Genie says 5 years. Then suddenly it's lights out. The next morning, Genie is staring at Anna with very wanting eyes. She's also doing something with her hand that YouTube won't allow me to say, but I'll let you take a guess from this image. Anna wakes up and Genie moves away. The inmates all then get to play in the courtyard. An inmate walks up to Anna and introduces herself as Cody. She tells Anna that she's got to pick a side in the prison or she'll be in trouble. Anna tries her best to ignore her, but it seems that she's still a little intimidated. Cody taunts her a bit, and then she leaves. Alright, lunchtime. Anna's vibing when Cody and her gang slide through. Cody says that she's offering her protection and friendship, like what's the deal? Anna says nah, she's good and just wants to be left alone. That seems to be the wrong answer though, as Cody shoves Anna onto the floor, causing her to spill her plate. Later, Anna's cleaning when Cody and her group scoop her up and bring her into a room. They start jacking her up. Cody tells her she was disrespectful earlier and it's in her best interest not to be disrespectful again. They rough her up a bit and tell her not to snitch or, well, she'll get some stitches. Anna heads over to an infirmary and lifts up her shirt, showing the bruises she received. A corrections officer arrives and asks what happened. Anna says she had no clue because it was so dark, fearing what Cody will do to her. The nurse, Jane, tells her that if she ever gets into trouble, just to see Frank and he'll sort things out. Anna heads over to see Frank. She tells him that she wants to be left alone where nobody can bother her. He tells her she wouldn't like solitary confinement as the room is very small and she can only be let out for 1 hour a day. Frank brings out her file and sees that she plays instruments. He tells her that there's a talent show every year and that she should join. Anna doesn't seem very interested though, so he changes the subject. He tells her they try their best to protect all the inmates, but it's hard to protect everyone. He then says he can make sure she gets protected for sure though and starts rubbing her hair like a whole creep. She moves away and he gets a bit offended. He tells her their conversation is over and he would like for her to go. Anna heads back to her cell. She seems pretty upset, so Genie asks her what's wrong. She tells Genie about her prison ordeals and the two end up getting pretty close. They kiss and end up sleeping together. The next day, Anna heads to class and learns a bit. She then heads out to the yard and is approached by another gang leader. She starts taunting Anna, then throws the ball at her head. Dang, Anna's got it rough. Anna seems to agree with me, and she figures it's time to make some moves. She decides that she needs protection and heads over to Cody's group. Soon after, she's beset upon by one of Cody's goons. The girls scrap a bit and the guards come over to break things up. Cody says that Anna now has her respect and she's welcome to join her gang. Oh, but she has to do something first. But it's lunchtime, so they'll hash out the details later. After lunch, Anna's taken to Cody's cell room. They give her a little something to drink and tell her what she has to do isn't a big deal. She just has to fight the other gang leader that she was messing with earlier. No big deal. She says, alright, bet, and heads out ready to box. She fights the gang leader and the match is quickly stopped by the guards. The guards then bring Anna into solitary confinement for 47 hours. The stay seems very long and brutal for Anna. She's then brought to Warden Frank's office. He tells her that he's more than capable of locking her in solitary confinement for 2 weeks unless she pleases him. Anna reluctantly complies. She's then with Cody's group again and they give her a tattoo. Oh, they did a pretty good job. Cody tells the group to leave as she wants to spend some alone time with Anna. Cody starts getting pretty fresh with Anna and they start messing around. But they're stopped since it's lights out. This girl comes back and is yelled at by Cody. It turns out Cody's sleeping with her as well. The next day, Anna is visited by her mom. Her mom is pretty lame though, as she says her stepfather did nothing wrong and that Anna's a liar. The two get into an argument and Anna gets smacked. Anna's then at the yard. She's speaking with Cody and the gang when suddenly the rival prison gang rushes in for a scrap. The two groups start a huge brawl. Anna's taken to the warden's office again and he tells her that he will not put anything on her record, but she must let him abuse her again. She complies. She then starts messing with Genie because apparently she's high and smacks her, but immediately tries to apologize. Genie does not accept her apology and stops stalking her. Anna starts an argument with Cody and Cody kicks her out, calling her ungrateful. Anna heads over to buy some more drugs from this dealer. She gets a shot of what seems to be heroin. Cody watches her from a distance, visibly upset. Cody heads to Anna's room and gives her some tough love. She tells Anna that she'll ruin her life if she does hard drugs like that, and Anna says she's gonna do the drugs anyway. Cody gets really upset and tells her she's out of the gang. Anna's taking a shower when the rival gang comes in and jacks her up since she has no more protection. She then heads over to the infirmary and is patched up. Afterwards, she heads to the yard and does some more drugs. The dealer tells Anna that she needs to chill a bit, like just play it cool while you're high. Anna says bet, then immediately starts freaking out, stumbling around and having hallucinations of her stepfather. She then heads to the bathroom to give herself a tattoo. Alright, she seems better. She then heads back and gets some more drugs. Genie sees that Anna's getting worse, so she decides to confront her. She tells her to go see the drug counselor because that's who helped her while she was doing drugs. Anna tells her to mind her own business and heads out to the common area. She picks a fight with the other gang leader and it starts a massive brawl with the guards, the SWAT, and everything. Anna gets thrown into solitary again, and it seems she's been inside for a while as she begins having drug withdrawals. Frank goes over to see her and asks if she's sobered up. She says yes, and he lets her go. Anna throws up in a room and Genie tells her it's a sign of withdrawal. Cody appears and asks if they're friends or enemies. Anna says neither, which gets Cody a bit upset. She then starts messing with Genie and Anna tells her to stop. Cody then leaves. The two girls then sleep on their bed and Anna says she won't do drugs or talk to anyone but Genie for that matter. In the very next scene, Anna heads over to the dealer and asks for some drugs. Cody rushes over and tries to forcibly stop her. Anna pushes her away and this starts a commotion. The guards rush over and break things up. Anna gets thrown into solitary again and starts going through severe drug withdrawal. She grabs a shard of broken food tray and tries to commit suicide. A guard comes into a passed out Anna and calls for help. Anna then wakes up in a precarious situation. A doctor comes in to ask her some questions. The doctor doesn't seem to like what she hears and sends her to a psych ward. Anna immediately sees a patient dying from her drug use. She then asks to see her mother. Anna's mother starts to cry and says she knows that she was telling the truth and she will tell a lawyer everything so Anna can get out. Anna heads to the warden and he tells her that she seems to be doing better, so he's going to send her back to her cell. She gets back to her cell and starts getting rid of the gang tattoos. She then starts pushing up on Genie and the two mess around. Anna's then having lunch and the other inmates start throwing things at her, but she doesn't retaliate. The warden brings her to a small room and gives her a cello so she could play. He tells her that he wants her to represent the prison in an upcoming talent show. While she's walking back to her cell, she's approached by Cody and her gang. Cody's pretty upset that she destroyed the gang tattoos and roughs her up. Anna's in the infirmary again. Frank comes in and assures Anna that Cody will be punished. Anna heads over to see Jane and tells her everything that's happening to her in regards with Frank, the prison warden. She tells Anna that her brother's the governor and she'll make sure that she's safe at all costs. The two hug, but it seems that they were being watched by none other than Frank. He looks very upset. Jane gets attacked by two inmates but is quickly rescued by a guard. Jane goes over to see the warden and says, "Hey, I'm still alive, doggy, like what's good?" Frank says, "Okay, bet," and makes a phone call. He tells whoever's on the phone to finish Jane off. While Jane's changing in the ladies' room, she's attacked and killed by an inmate. Come on, Jane. Anna's brought to Frank's office and says he's pretty sure that Cody's the one that killed Jane. He says it's no biggie though and that she should just concentrate on the talent show. It's a talent show. This group of girls is rapping and the crowd seems hype. Anna then heads up and starts playing the cello. Everyone is in awe of her performance. After the show, Frank walks over to Anna and tells her that he's arranged parole for her in the coming week. He then kisses her. Anna asks Cody for help in taking Frank down. Cody gives her a phone and tells her to record her next encounter with Frank. Anna then heads to her room and has a dream about getting executed for snitching on Frank. She then heads to Frank's office and as always, Frank is being a creep. He tells her to please him and she does, but this time she records the entire encounter. Anna's meeting with the parole board when Frank has the audacity to tell the board to deny Anna's bail. Anna says, okay, I got something for you, and shows the board her last encounter with Frank on her phone. The board immediately orders Frank's arrest and grants Anna's parole. Anna says farewell to Genie and Cody and is picked up by her mother. The movie ends with Anna playing her cello at a recital with her mother looking on very happily. And that's the end of our show, ladies and gentlemen. If you like this recap, be sure to hit a like and subscribe for more videos like this one. Take care.